Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have a new hero of the month in the game. She is called May, and we are in the month of May. I guess Empires and Puzzles is running out of creative names for heroes of the month, so we're just going with the months that they come out in. I don't know, but in today's video, we are going to do a full hero review on this new hero of the month, talk about if she is worth leveling up, where she might be useful, and how she can affect the other heroes on your team. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. And these previews for the stats here are always going to show as if you were to have followed the talent path all the way to the left. That's going to include the attack masterclass nodes also. So you could get the shield and health considerably higher, especially the shield if you were to follow the path all the way to the right, because you're going to get 180 from the masterclass talents alone in extra shield, and probably some extra shield nodes on the right hand side of the regular talent path also. So you can probably get that shield up to 1650 maybe, or somewhere around there, maybe just under that. But let's first take a look at her stats without limit breaking or emblems. She has 1071 attack, 1081 shield, and 1961 health. And of course, when you do double limit break and add emblems and masterclass emblems, it's going to jump up to 1500 attack, 1444 shield, and 2698 health. And for her special, she has average speed. She's going to add a growth effect where all allies are going to get 150 attack and 150 defense. She's going to summon a carrot minion for each ally with 25% health inherited from the caster. When summoned, the carrot minion gives plus 20% mana generation for its owner for as long as the owner has carrot minions. This effect cannot be dispelled. If I click on the little question mark here, it just says affects only mana generated from matching tiles or mana gained by the defense team at the end of their turn. Definitely interesting that the carrot minions only have health, they do not attack. Even something like 10% attack inherited from the caster would be interesting, although it's actually a good thing that those minions do not attack, because that means that you could use May on Titans and those minions will not slow down the battle. And she is going to be useful on Titans because of that growth effect and because of the mana generation. So that's actually a good thing, like I said, that those minions do not attack. May is monk class, which is definitely ideal for a support type of hero because she's going to have a 30% chance to resist all negative status ailments that get thrown at her. And if you have one of the monk primary legendary troops, that's going to add an additional 10%. So she'll actually have a total of 40% chance to resist all negative status ailments if you have one of those primary monk legendary troops. And she has two passives. The first one is going to be resist minion removal, and then her second passive is going to be mana on buff received. This character gains 5% mana when they receive a buff or a positive stack. And I didn't click on the little question mark next to the growth effect, but this just tells you that wither and growth effects modify characters' ability scores. This effect remains even if the character is defeated, so if they're defeated and then get revived, they keep the same growth effects that they had before they died. Additional wither and growth effects modify the ability scores further. Wither and growth can't be removed with dispels or cleanses. Limits for modified ability scores: minimum 30% and maximum 170% of their original values. Other buffs and debuffs are applied to modified ability scores. This effect is less effective when activated by monsters and bosses. So basically, it can't be cleansed, and the growth effects can max out at 170% of their original values. Also worth noting that there's a couple heroes in the game that have guard rally. Fergus and I think Flamehide might be another one, where every 4 turns, as part of their passive, it removes all growth effects from their enemies, so definitely be aware of that. You definitely do not want to bring May against Fergus or against Flamehide. Like I said, I think it's Flamehide, and I actually did just go fact check myself. It is indeed Fergus, Flamehide, and also Archibald that all remove growth effects from all enemies every 4 turns as part of their passive. So you do not want to go up against any of those 3 heroes with this new hero of the month, and there may be new garrison guards that come out with that passive also, so definitely be aware of that. All right, so let's now talk about how she can help your other team members. So when your team members have one of those carrot minions, they're going to get plus 20% mana generation. Depending on the level of player that you are and the troops that you have, this is going to have a big impact on the amount of tiles that your heroes get from their specials. So for a slow speed hero, you need 10% mana generation increase to get to 11 tiles. You need 20% mana generation increase to get to 10 tiles, and you need 34% mana generation increase to get to 9 tiles. So if you are a player who has legendary troops and you have legendary troops on all of your heroes, that's going to give plus 11% mana generation. The 20% mana generation from the carrot minion is going to go up to 31% mana generation. And then you need 3% more generation to get to 9 tiles. So unfortunately, that's not going to work for a lot of newer heroes unless if they are a sorcerer, monk, or druid, where you get 4% mana from their talent node. Other heroes that this would help get to 9 tiles are any heroes with a costume, and you get that 5% mana from their costume bonus. But any other slow heroes that do not either have a costume or are not one of those 3 classes that I just mentioned, druid, monk, or sorcerer, then they're going to need some other type of mana increase, like having a bard on your team where all solo family members get an extra 5% mana increase. That would help those slow heroes get to 9 with May. Or if you don't have a legendary troop and are going to use one of the troops that give either 15% mana or 20% mana increase, then that would also help your slow heroes get to 9 tiles. And again, obviously you have to wait until May activates and gets those carrot minions on those heroes for that to be effective. For your average speed heroes like May, you need 12% mana increase to get down to 9 tiles, 25 mana percent increase to get to 8 tiles, and 43% mana increase to get down to 7 tiles. Getting to 9 tiles for an average speed hero is pretty easy if you have any type of troop that gives mana increase, including the legendary troops that give the 11% mana, because all of the mana talent nodes give either 2% or 4%. So you're already going to get to 9 tiles from that. As far as trying to get to 8 tiles with the 25% mana increase, obviously this 20% mana from the carrot minion would help with that on top of any troop that gives mana generation. And then to get to 7 tiles with the 43% mana increase, you would need one of the troops that give 20% mana, and then you would need to either have a 5% mana increase from a costume bonus, or the 4% mana increase from a sorcerer, druid, or monk from their talent node, or you would need a bard to give 5% mana increase to all solo family members. So that's going to be the main way to get to 7 tiles on an average speed hero. For fast speed heroes, they start out at 8 tiles, and you need 15% mana increase to get down to 7 tiles. So this new hero of the month would actually help any fast speed hero get to 7 tiles even without a legendary troop or any type of mana troop. To get to 6 tiles, you need 34% mana increase, so the 20% from this plus the 11% mana increase if you have a legendary troop, you would still need 3% mana increase. So any sorcerer, druid, or monk would be able to get there with the 4% mana increase they get from their talent node. Any other class would not be able to unless if they have a 5% mana increase from a costume bonus or the 5% mana increase from having a bard on the team. And then for very fast speed mana heroes, they already get to 6 tiles with just 9% mana increase. So if you have any type of troop that gives mana, then they're already going to get to 6 tiles. But if you don't have a mana troop, then obviously May would help them get to 6 tiles. I feel like the most helpful mana speed heroes that May would help out are slow heroes and fast speed heroes, to try to get the slow heroes to 9 tiles and the fast speed heroes to 6 tiles. In my opinion, that's going to be the best way for May to be useful. But overall, I do like May. I think that she can be a great support hero with the attack and defense growth. The more times you use that, the more effective it's going to be. And then the mana increase from those minions, definitely useful also. If you have a legendary troop, then May is going to come in at just under 4,000 health probably, which means that those carrot minions are going to have about 1,000 health. So that's a pretty good meat suit. Obviously, you don't want want to use Mei with other Mega Minion heroes because she's going to lose effectiveness just from that because they already get their Mega Minions, so they're not going to be able to collect these minions that give mana increase. So definitely keep that in mind with who you are pairing with. She would also work well with any type of hero that gives a defense up or any type of reduced damage. That's going to help those minions stay alive longer, and the more times she fires and the more minions that you get, the better. I would anticipate that battles with Mei probably would be a little bit longer if you used her correctly, because again, you want her to fire as many times as possible so that that attack and defense growth continue to increase. As far as if I will level Mei when I get her, honestly, I probably will. Heroes that have attack and defense growth definitely will have more longevity in the game. I like the fact that she's a minion summoner. She's average speed, which is pretty good. So in my opinion, like I said, definitely worth leveling. It's been a while since I have leveled a hero of the month up, but she can definitely be useful for Titans, for wars, for raids, really for almost any aspect of the game, honestly. Let me know what you all think of this new hero of the month, but that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you sub to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.